Hey guys, Huzz here, bringing you another video, this time on Z top lane. This was the commentary I wanted to bring out before my whole computer problems happened. Now you might even notice that the mic is slightly different. I've got myself a pair of Astro 40s. I'm currently trying them out right now. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to keep them because I'm not amazingly happy with how the mic is acting. There might be something on my end that I need to do, I'm not entirely sure. So I have contacted the support to try and fix it, but hopefully it's easily good enough for you guys to hear right now. But this is a game with Z top lane. Now Z is known more of a mid laner than a top laner, but because he's so strong, given the right matchup, he can work very well in top lane. Now I'm against an Elise in the top lane this game, and normally an Elise you would think would beat a Z, as she has range on him, she has a little bit more poke. But if you play the lane right on a Z, you literally can win any single lane in the game. And hopefully I will show you how to do this in this game, when to go aggressive at the right times. Now because obviously I had to reinstall Windows for those who don't know, some of the settings might be a little bit off, but I think it's pretty much fine. I think we got colorblind mode on, yes we do. Yeah, so everything I think is great. So we're going in for an invade right now. Aatrox was a little bit slow off the mark. But we were just seeing if they're going to start red, because having a Blitzcrank on our team basically does say, oh, we're going to invade you. And it is kind of predictable in that way. And we chose to go for the red because a lot of people decide if there's a Blitzcrank on the enemy team, they're going to ignore the blue buff so they don't invade, and then just go do their red. It's quite a safe way of doing things, but we kind of counter that, but we kind of counter ourselves in the same way if you follow me, and we're just simply going to take their red to give our Aatrox a little bit of an advantage. Now if you look at the items actually right now, that reminds me, I will swap out if we actually move mid lane, jungle, top, there you go, everything's really nice and done. So Elise actually has DC'd right now, but it was just a really brief one, but that has actually put her a little bit behind in when she's going to get to top lane. Now obviously that does give me a small advantage. I think I get level 2 just before she does, or by the, she's in mid lane right now, she is absolutely beaming it right up to top lane. Now if you look at her starting items, she has gone for the cloth armor into the potions, where myself I have opted for the Doran shield. Now Doran shield I have fallen in love with on Z. I'm not gonna lie, it was introduced to me by LCS, that type of thing, because of it doesn't give armor anymore, so it is still very viable. If you're a melee target, it's very viable if you're against a ranged target. Now, obviously, Aatrox stole the red buff of Vi, and he's moved over to his own blue, and Vi's thinking that she can, take his blue, but it doesn't work that way. If you look at the items, Aatrox has actually opted for the Doran's Blade start. It's a very ballsy start, but it gives him so much damage early on. Vi just couldn't handle it, and she actually went down. I did roam a little bit just to see if I could make anything, but it was a little bit of I don't know, wasted trip, and that probably has put Elise more or less on the same XP as myself right now. So the lane is, well, she's probably nearly level 3 after this wave. So yeah, the lane is pretty much reset to what it normally will be. Now I'm going to try and harass her as much as possible before she gets level 3. Now obviously in the game, in itself, I had no idea Elise had that small DC, as obviously you only see if someone's disconnected on the enemy team. I think it's 5 minutes, or they might have even removed it, I'm not entirely sure. So I thought she was just simply late to lane. So if your opponent is late to lane, you definitely want to make the most of it, and you want to try and push your advantage as much as possible. Now if you look at the CS, I am currently 4 ahead, nothing really to brag about. It's just to note that if you keep ahead of your lane opponent in CS, then you're always going to be in a good situation. Now the lane is rather pushed, and I don't like having it massively pushed near the enemy turret. I am quite scared of the combo with a Vi and Elise, both jumping on me. Both have great gap closures, and both have a little bit of CC each, where if they combine them, then I would be in a slight bit of trouble. Gonna be just farming up as much as I can. Now you'll note on my leveling abilities, I max my E. I'm a big fan of maxing my E on Z, as it just gives him the best, sustained damage and a little bit more AoE damage than his Q, as it is a smaller cooldown. Now Vi is looking for the gank, and I am a little bit scared, but honestly this Elise really made it obvious that this gank was here, like really obvious. Why else would she run into this bush to scout me out unless the jungler was here? Aatrox is moving into the area to try and have a little counter gank going, or just scare off the Vi. And I don't think anything other than, you know, me just continuing to farming happens in the next minute or so. Aatrox does actually scout out the Vi a little bit, but she managed to get a ward in that bush, so she does know he's in the kind of area. Elise was looking to back then, but it's good on her that she actually cancelled it, as if she based right now, she'd be losing a whole wave of XP and gold, and basically making her even further ahead. Now, she is tanking the minions in a very odd position that does enable me to, you know, just put a shadow on her and do a decent amount of damage. If I wanted to do more damage, then I would probably just go onto the shadow, you know, switch positions, and then do an auto attack in there, but it was rather close to the turret range, and I don't want to be, you know, stunned in the turret, that type of thing. Now, Zed is one of my favourite champions in the game, and not just because he's really strong. Now, obviously, a lot of people choose their favourite champions because, hey, they're OP or something like that. But honestly, I just really like his playstyle. I love the shadows. I love swapping positions, etc. Now, there is a small gank going in bot lane. Twitch actually manages to get that kill without dying, which is great. So the team right now is looking good. Now, I remember this game, it was about 3-4 days ago, and it was about 1 AM. So I don't know why, I was like, well, should I go to bed or should I play a LoL game? Oh, I'll play a LoL game. And this game was really friendly. Everybody in chat was having a good time. We're actually talking... that I remember when this was. It was the time that Civ HD did his charity thing, because we was talking about it in the Champion Select. Anyway, I went for a little dive onto the Elise. We get turret reset, and I don't know why she just runs into me. She uses her Ignite for... I don't really know why she used it. I would have saved it if I was her, and I get a free kill. Now, right now, I don't exactly know where Vi is, so I choose just the base. What I should have done is push the wave so my minions hit the turret, and then the wave would have reset. But I choose not to, and I just go back to base with... how much gold do I have? Well, I've just bought myself a cutlass, and I've got 2,000 gold. So if you compare the gold advantage, I have a 400 gold lead on the Elise, which is pretty much just the kill and the little CS. You know, that pretty much is the lead, I guess. But yeah, it's not a massive lead. But it's still a lead nonetheless. And if you get a Zed ahead in any position in the game, even if he's jungle, then you're going to be pretty good. Now, the Aatrox is pinging to the enemy red buff. We took it at the first buff spawn, so that means it's going to be up in about any second now. So I'm going to head over there myself. Now, you can see the enemy team is ferociously pinging onto the red buff. They want to basically stop us because they do have this warded here, so they do know we're in the area. Elise gets herself in not a great position, honestly, and they go ham onto the Aatrox, but, you know, Aatrox has his blood well, so he basically just comes back alive. Now, TF did use his ultimate, but didn't go anywhere, and we're continuing just to steal this buff, smited away by the Aatrox, but then he makes a silly mistake and goes the complete wrong way. TF uses actually the wrong card, he uses a blue card, but that does do the most damage, and this situation is not looking great for us right now. If Aatrox actually went the same way as us, then it would have actually been pretty good. I kill the Elise, so I get out there with, you know, not use much. I even think I use... oh, I did use Flash in that situation to get onto the Elise, and then I just used my W out. So not a great situation. If the Aatrox stayed with me and Anivia, we would have probably won that fight very easily. But that is basically what happens when you split. Me and Anivia stayed with each other quite well in that. And Aatrox, I remember, you know, right now he put his hands up in chat and straight away said, God, I shouldn't have done that. I should have stayed with you guys. So that's, you know, it's fine. It happens. So anyway, going to try to push the top wave. If I can deny the Elise any amount of farm, then it's worth it. So I'm going to push this to turret, and as you can see, the turret's going to kill a few, so then she won't get XP or she won't get gold. Now, if you look at the Elise's build, she has really rushed to the Seeker's Arm Guard. Now, you can understand why she wants armor, but this isn't going to help her. This armor she has right now isn't the answer to what she needs. She needs health. It is one of the biggest counters to Zed you can probably have before he has Blade. Obviously, Blade does help him when he has it, but if you're against a Zed in lane, build health. That's why, generally in mid lane, you'll get 2 Doran's rings and then go into your Seeker's Arm Guard. You really do need the health early on. And I don't know if this Elise didn't know this, or she just didn't think about it, but yeah. If you're in this situation and you're the other, you know, side of the coin where you're against the Zed, as I said, just build health early on, and then you can build the armor. So anyway, just not much going on in the game right now in top lane. My ult is up, and Ignite is coming up in 3 seconds, so I'm thinking right now I'm probably going to try and alter, or am I going to go back? If I go back, then probably just going to pick up some more damage, and if I go back, I'll have a look at what's happening around the map. So I do go back, so I'll have a little look around. Mid lane, I remember this Anivia having like at least 500 games played on Anivia this season. It might have even been more. So she is quite good at Anivia and knows that champion fairly well. Bot lane is doing quite well from the looks of it. Twitch is currently 2-0-0 with a nearly 20 CS advantage on a Caitlyn, so that's pretty good. And jungler wise, we have a even situation in kills for junglers, but Aatrox is slightly ahead. Now he has opted for triple Doran's Blade. Basically, he's trying to make as many plays as possible just early on. They get a kill, but he does go down, so that's not great. I think I jump onto the Elise, and yeah, I just kill her straight away. So sorry I missed the most of that. I was looking at mid, but basically what happened, I just ulted her straight away. She went into the air to try and avoid more damage, but as soon as she came down, I just finished her off. So let's actually just go back to my vision just quickly. You're going to just see me pushing the wave, I would presume. And right now, because of my team has just given a couple deaths away, I might be thinking I want to get this top turret, which will enable me to just go roam. So yep, I'm just going to attack the top turret right now. Now I have got one dagger, so I have a little bit of attack speed, which does help with tower pushing. Obviously attack speed isn't the greatest stat for Zed, and that's why some people don't like getting Blade on him, because yeah, attack speed isn't great. Some people prefer getting the pure damage of a Bloodthirster or a Last Whisper much earlier on. But I personally like Blade of the Ruined King on Zed quite a lot. It increases his dueling power quite significantly and other things, Bot wave, there is a little skirmish going on. Twitch actually flashes onto the Caitlyn, and I don't think she's actually going to die, so that's not very good. I'm going to base right now because I am rather overextended without much vision, and the game is starting to even up a little bit now. Now, I don't know why, I just cancelled my base. I don't know why, but I do realise that Vi is probably in the area, so I just basically just get out of there. Pick up my second dagger, and I also pick up a longsword just for a little bit more damage right now. Now if you look into the mid lane, they were trying to get the mid turret as quick as possible. Now you actually can see the damage Aatrox is dealing right now with these triple Dorans. I wouldn't recommend this build to the average person that's playing Aatrox, as it basically does mean you need to have so much early pressure. Now I am coming in from the side, seeing what I can do. I'm going for the Vi because she does have double buffs, and I'm going to try my best to kill it, but I'm not entirely sure if I manage to do so. I think I do have ult right now, and I do use it, but they still have flashes, they still have all their different other spells. So unfortunately in that engage we lose one and we don't even gain anything. But the thing we will gain is the turret, and that's actually a pretty good trade for us. One death for the mid turret, I'll take that trade most days of the week. Vi is looking from the side, seeing if she can do anything, but she simply just puts a ward down and seeing if she can flank us from the right. But we realise this, and we just basically run to the left. Now their red buff is up again, so me and Aatrox are going to head over there and try and steal it, for the third time is this, as well as we can. Vi's moving in, seeing if she can steal it. Now if Aatrox stayed around, we actually would have killed her. But he runs away, thinking that there probably will more be coming, and he simply, we get the red buff, so it's overall pretty good for us. And I'm going to return to top wave and just basically push it back to turret. The thing with top lane, what you have to understand is top lane actually is a big impact on winning the game and losing the game. If you have a proactive top laner that is roaming and going to help your team with objectives, or if you have a top laner that's only split pushing but is a slow split pusher, obviously the one that's more proactive and going to help your team is going to be a much bigger influence. Split pushing is a method that can work, but personally I'm not a big fan of split pushing. Pure split pushing. I like helping my team as my top laner, going to help that dragon, going to help, just pushing down the mid lane. Sure, there are situations where split pushing does work. Basically, what I tend to do as a top lane is push my wave to force my enemy top lane to stay there while I go roam. And that's generally what I always do. I do that in mid lane, and I do that in top lane. Now, we are looking to do something that right now, I think I did ping myself, I am going to dragon. So this does basically spark the movement for us just taking it. And honestly, I don't think right now they could even consider doing anything right now. Now, if you look at the minimap, they were actually pinging the Elise quite a lot, and that's basically what my method just did. I am going to go onto the Caitlyn, but unfortunately she just gets over the wall when I wanted to actually kill her. So yeah, so it's annoying, but it's just the way it worked. We got Dragon, and we can probably just back out quite safely right now. But as you can see, my method kind of worked in that the more I pushed the top wave, the more Elise actually had to stay there. And now they are actually looking for an engage on us, which I would say is a bit arguable. Basically, I think what they're trying to do is delay us going back, which will force the Elise to be able to get the top turret. But as you can see, there's going to be about a fight right now, and I don't know why they fought. Their tactic, as I said, was trying to delay us going back to top wave to allow the Elise to get the top turret, which, in all honesty, the position we were, I wasn't going to get to top turret before she got it, I don't think, anyway, so that Vi sacrificing herself isn't great. Now, Twitch actually stealthed around the back and got his ultimate on both of them, but Anivia picked them up. So, overall, really good team play, but I would say that is majority Twitch's work doing that. Stealthing behind them, then using his spray and pray to finish them off really nicely. Now, if you look at the items in Elise, she has finally copped on that she needed health, and she's also building the Sunfire cape eventually, but health is the key to versus a Z, and yep, she has built it. So this will hurt me somewhat, but I still think it would be fairly, I can't even speak English, a easy 1v1, there we go. So, yeah, she still has to be scared of me, because I do have my Blade of the Ruined King. Now, okay, I've got 400 gold on me, so not that much gold. I bought myself a Null Magic Mantle, which either will be building into the boots or a Hex Drinker. Now, again, I'm doing my strategy where I'm just going to push the wave and seeing if we can do anything else around the map. Elise does go on me a little bit, but I'm just going to try and back out. Now, you did probably just hear me laughing, but Vi got there a lot quicker than I thought she would. Which has put me in a not great position. I'm going to try and get out the best I can, but there's nothing really I can do. Twitch is going to try and engage on the Twisted Fate, but I don't think he can do anything. Aatrox is pushing down the bot wave, so them having two people top actually has opened up the map. Now, my death was not really, not worth it right now. They are probably going to get 2 kills down this bot wave, which arguably you could say it was worth it, but my death didn't have any influence on that engaging bot lane. So yeah, my death wasn't worth it, and it was a silly death to have. It would have been avoided a lot easier if I just had a vision or some wards in the enemy red jungle, so I knew where Vi actually was. I knew she was probably going to be in the kind of area, but I didn't actually think she would be that close to me. Bought myself a vision ward, and I'm going to head up back top lane to push it again. And this game is rinse and repeat, really. There's not much to it. You just push the wave to force the Elise to go there, or at least someone to go there, and then I go roam off and then just help my team win a team fight or take an objective and that type of thing. That's what I like doing. I do this on Renekton. I do this on Shen's. Well, Shen's a lot easier to do it on because you can just stay top lane and then just ult whenever they're in trouble, I suppose. Now, there is a little bit of a siege going on down bot wave, and maybe not a great team fight about to occur. Most of the enemy team is actually in the area. Yeah, Elise has moved her way down. You can see me in the top wave, and this is basically the other way round of what happened to Elise, in the fact that she pushed my top wave, I died, so I'm going to go clear it, and basically they had a 5v4 team fight. So not great. But they basically just did the same to what we did to them, I suppose. Blitz did get away, so they haven't got a full, killing everybody. And I'm in the top wave and probably just going to start hammering onto the tier 2 top turret. Oh, I am doing a little bit of roam. And, okay, I put a ward down just for a bit of vision. I'm going to start taking down this top wave as quick as possible. Now, as I said before, I don't think Elise can kill me, but she is going to be rather tanky. And Elise, or Vi, sorry, is working her way up with the Elise, and they're probably going to try and take me out. So I realise this, and I'm just going to back off. Now, because I have a ward here, I know they're doing this red, so I think I'm going to try and steal it, but I think she does a little bit too much damage than I expected, and she kills it quicker than I thought. So I don't pick that up, but it's fine. Now you have to realise that this top turret already is at half health, so I'll be able to get that in the next time that I, fully go in for a kill on it. Twitch is moving into the bush with Caitlyn, and unfortunately she did put that trap there. If she didn't put that trap, that probably would have been a free kill for the Twitch. Now I am in mid lane right now, helping my team as much as I can. I don't want one of them situations again to happen that my team is outnumbered, because it's not a great situation, and that's the situation I want to put the enemy in. Now, I was looking to come around the side for the Twisted Fate, but then I find like all their team, so that's not great. But honestly, if they're in an enclosed area with an Anivia in our team, they're not in a very good position. Having a closed area for an Anivia is great. Now, I do have my blue buff, which will allow my CDR to even go more down. My E is on a 3-second cooldown, W on 13 nearly, or just below, and Q on 5 or just below. Blitz does a grab, unfortunately misses it with his, hitting a minion instead. Now, I think relatively soon there will be a team fight. Caitlyn has been brought rather quite low, and the turret is already at a third odd health, but they do have quite considerable wave clear. Team fight's coming up, move it into the window. I'm going to try and zone these guys as much as I can. So I completely zone both of their basically their carry, and then the team fight is going to resume. Rather close right now, not much else going on. Twitch is trying to kill them up into the top of the lane. Twitch is going to resume just hitting them as much as possible. Twisted Fate pulls a blue card. I don't know if it's Reggie in this game, but he pulls a blue card when if he hit a gold card, that would have been a much better situation. So overall, we win the team fight, and we're about to take the tier 2 turret, move it back to the normal view, and that was an overall pretty good fight. Now, they're also going to push this wave a little bit here, which is fine. I would be a little bit more careful if I was them. And then if we look at the top wave has not really lost or gained anything right now. The turret was already gone, and it hasn't hit my tier 2. So that was a really good way, or a really good time for me actually roaming into that team fight and then making it 5v5, because we did not lose anything in the top wave. I get there just in time, just before it hits the top wave tier 2 turret, and then I'd get all this nom CS. So right now I'm 3-2-1, not the greatest score, but this game is not a game that there's been millions of kills in. The kills are quite evenly spread on my team, as you can see, with Aatrox actually getting the most, then Anivia and Twitch having 4, and myself having 3. Now, the enemy team did actually get the dragon, so well played to them. They obviously outpositioned us, or got grouped there quicker. But yeah, it's just the way that it's happened. Now, I don't know why Elise is in the bot wave. It has been pushed quite a lot, but they're leaving me up top wave alone. Twisted Fate can't ult me because I'll simply just kill him. And no one's coming. Someone did ping, the enemy team did ping that someone needs help. And Nivea is moving into the area to help me. Just take out the turret or be the siege tank to stop people getting there. People base, and I get a free tier 2 turret. So that's actually pretty good. Now we catch the Janna roaming up to the top wave. That's why Nivea was staying in this bush right there to catch someone out like that. We probably would have killed anybody that walked in there. And now we're on the tier 2 turret of the mid lane, and we are looking to do a little bit of sieging. I go quite deep onto the Caitlyn, and pop, she does go down. But as you can see, the Anivia is continuing to just push the tier 2 turret up top lane, which is arguable, I will say. I would much prefer her to come down. I tried to bait the enemy team a little bit to try and come onto me, but maybe a little bit too much. They are going to try and kill the Elise. Twisted Fate does come down. Now, it would have been a lot better if the Aatrox actually queued onto the Twisted Fate, as it's much more predictable. And that was an okay team fight, I suppose. It was rather even, but Nivea actually does get the turret up top lane. So actually that's a really good play by Nivea, but as I said, I probably would have preferred her to come into the team fight and helped us just clean them up. If Nivea was there, that would have been really, really easy. But that does leave a open inhibitor for a ninja to take it whenever I want to. Pick up my Last Whisper, and I also pick up my mobility boots. Now, I really am a big fan of mobility boots on Zed. As I say, he is a kind of good split pusher in the game, and it will enable me to go and help my teammates and that type of thing much quicker with this, movement speed. So it will enable me to go get the inhib, either run away if I need to with the speed, or run to my team and help them with the team fight. So the game right now is going, it's a lot closer than I actually remembered. The kills are pretty damn close, but we are 4,000 odd gold ahead, just over. We are going to clear the Baron, but I remember this being quite funny. His Blitzcrank ulta or passive ultimate actually pulls the Baron, and look how much health he's just got taken off. Nearly dead. I don't think that ward was really worth it, honestly. So that wasn't great, but we're going to push the top wave again. If we can just get these waves pushing to force enemies to go there, as you can see, Twitch pushed the bot wave, and that's actually a pretty big wave. Going to head up the bot lane. I'm going to push this wave up here, hopefully going to try and get to this inhib. If they go to the inhib, if they make a move on it, then there's pretty much going to be a free Baron. They are going to try and secure the red buff for their Caitlyn, and I think they do get it. Yeah, they do get it. We don't contest it because we are, I think, outnumbered at this point. Twitch and Blitzcrank are moving in from the side. We are at a bit of a dodgy situation right now. I'm going to move in onto the Twisted Fate, I think. I get exhausted, which isn't great, and I'm going to try do my best. I move back into the range of my team just so they can help me, but Elise does jump on my face. And continue on with the team fight. If we move it onto the screen, you can see that we are at a pretty big health advantage, so they're probably going to go down. Good grab, and only Janna lives. So we did win that team fight again. I didn't do the greatest of things in that team fight. I did do a rather good switch back onto my enemy, my friendly team. Twitch does, I think, finish off the ace, so overall we do get the ace. So it is worth it. But I could have done much, better things that game, or not that game, that team fight. I was up here and I ulted onto the Twisted Fate. As soon as I went over the wall, I just got exhausted. And obviously I didn't know that their exhaust was up or down, but I could have waited a second or two more and forced the exhaust to go on someone else, and then my ult probably would have been able to kill the Twisted Fate. Also, using the W to go over the wall isn't the greatest thing, because when Twisted Fate flashed back, I had no way of jumping onto his face to do additional damage, so my mark would have done more. So yeah, I could have played that better, but it was still a pretty good outcome, I suppose, for the whole team. Being 5-3-4, and there is the surrender vote. So overall, that was Zed top lane. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope the mic quality is okay, because I will be trying to tinker with this over the next couple of days. Content probably to resume as normal, and I'm going to start streaming a lot more than I have been. I'm going to try and stream at least 3 days a week, and with uni starting in 2 weeks, I think. We'll see how that goes, but I think it is pretty manageable. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.